Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
It is picked off by the line. Darius Slay's got it. Coming back right side, 25. Picks up a block at the 30. Darius at the 40.
Drink it in, drink it in. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Rolls to the right. Stafford throws deep. Got a man out there. Enzo. Caught. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Stafford!
Drink it in, drink it in.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Cornbread.
Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid, everybody, we are back here on a Wednesday to talk about another Lions W. You know what it is.
I'm undefeated, never lost.
Lions getting it done in Philly. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to talk all about it. But we know we got to hit the Grifka with the Hey Buddy remix off the top.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Grifka, what's going on, buddy?
Oh man, just sitting here, glad big W on Sunday. It's a pretty exciting game.
Is that the W you predicted last week, or was that when you predicted a loss, but now you're happy because of the W? I just want to make sure.
I know I predicted a loss, but I'm happy because of the W, of course.
So, in a certain way, you kind of covered your backside on both sides, like I've said many times here on the podcast. Is that right?
Well, with that prediction, no, I thought they would lose the game, but I'm happy they won. I mean, I'm not sad that they lost.
Right.
I didn't have a bet riding on it or anything like that.
So you predicted a loss because that's what your brain, or that's what, the old Lions fan in you said. But now that they won, you're happy. So, like, either way, you probably would have been pretty decent. I mean, I think that deserves a Grifka bell. That's the classic Grifka double cover, if I've ever seen one right there. So, yeah, Grifka, I got other bones to pick with you on this show, but we're going to have a bunch of fun. We're going to talk about this ball game. But first thing I want to do is have a little fun. And before the game last week, again, me and you both aren't the best when it comes to social media, but I've been trying to sort of interact with our fans, interact with Lions fans, and chat it up a little bit when I can, as time permits. So last week I kind of put out there, hey, heading into Philly, I need your Carusos. And, man, I got to say, some of the people definitely came through. I thought I'd read a couple off the top. I mean, sound good to you, Grifka?
Wait, now, do they have the punchline as the last word, or are these ones that when they sent them to you, you adjusted them to make it an actual Caruso?
Yeah, there's going to be both, because I love the people trying the Carusos, but there's definitely a coaching up on the Carusos that continues to happen, because some of them are too long, some are clunky, some do not end with the final word. But like I said, I thought I got off a couple good ones. We'll see if you agree. And then the people came in with some as well. So how about we do this off the top before we get in this ball game?
Yeah, I want to hear. I'm interested to hear some of these.
So Grifka, this was my initial Caruso to the people when I asked them to send them. It went a little something like this. Well, Frank, I guess you could say the Lions' undefeated streak in Philly will just have to carry on. So, I mean, I set the tone. I mean, that's big time right there. I thought that was excellent. So, let me pull a couple of these other ones up. So I knocked that one out. Let me get this Frank Ribble Caruso that he busted out. He says, well, Derek, Bevel needs to call some plays for the outlier TJ Hawkinson. If he doesn't, I bet on Hawkinson, I will have to find something to hawk.
That one was long.
Yeah, sorry, Frank. So my reply to Frank was, hey, appreciate the effort. Let me fix that for you. Let me see if I nailed this one for him, Grifka. I said, well, Frank, at Grifka DKC, you might call him a crock, But Detroit's future stats will be better than Philly's when they make one of Hawk. So that one was a little more of a rhyme. I mean, again, you want the ending word to make some sense, but rhyming is good. Like you say, less the better at times. So I think your boy, I think this is one of your buddies, Grifka. It must be one of your boys that's undercover here. Joey 2 times, he wrote me and said, that Caruso, it's not that great. Which, hey, Joey 2 times, here's a couple Grifka bells, one for that slap at me. And then you also get one for your profile picture where you're sitting on the stoop with like some type of rooster on your lap. I mean, that's a double bell. But he comes at me and he used your catchphrase, so I thought that was funny. But then Joey 2 times comes in with this. Well, Derek, Eagles might become irritated with Lions running backs. Detroit suggests applying plenty of, and then he puts, put the sunglasses on, Johnson and Johnson. So I gave him some credit. I was kind of like, not bad. I like where you're heading. So I half fixed it for him, just tightened it up a little bit. And I said, well, Frank, for years the Lions RBs have been flaky, but now they have cleaned that up with a little dose of Johnson and Johnson. So I got the flaky in there with they haven't been that good. I tightened it up a little bit with some of the wording, but like I say, Joey 2 times, he gets some credit for that. Grifka, we got to get Aaron Bullock in here. He came in with one. This one's got to be discussed. It says, well, Derek, the Eagles will feel robbed when we win this weekend, but this bank robbery isn't because we've got Jesse James.
That was not terrible.
That's a half Caruso, half crickets, because here's the part that he got the crickets for. Because after he has the Jesse James, he doesn't have like hit the music, or he should have tied in, it all together. But instead, in parentheses, he has, if nobody knows who the American outlaw Jesse James is, I'm sorry you didn't get it. So I wrote him back. I'm like, good effort. Let the people get it or not without the explanation. And then I fixed it. And tell me this isn't worthy, Grifka. I put, again, I'll probably start trying to do these with people's names and make them funny, but I do like the well, Frank. It's just easy to do. So I put, might go something a little like this. Well, Frank, Jesse James of the Lions feels Philly fan is the true outlaw. So I got a little shot at Philly fan, which I thought was good. That's always a good time. So we got, those were kind of the noteworthy ones before the game. Now listen to this one. So after the game, we'll get into the win and everything that happened. But I've been on a Mike Valenti rant where he just he hates all of our home teams and gets on and just complains about everything and super negative. So I've been ranting and raving about him on Twitter. We got a good percentage of people that are on my side and a very small percentage that say, oh, he's telling the truth. He knows what he's talking about. All this other garbage, right? Uh-huh. So when I heard him complaining after the game, I said, basically not one word about the Lions today when I checked in on the Valenti show. Big surprise. I'm shocked. All he wanted to do was bash Michigan the whole show rather than talk about a great, thrilling Lions win, which we'll talk plenty about here. And then I hashtagged it, Valenti equals joke, hashtag the Valenti Clown Show, 97.1 the ticket. So people were loving that. And the first reply I get back, get this is classic. So this Lynn lady writes back, my thoughts exactly. I tuned in to hear his BS about the Lions, and then she uses our gimmick, crickets. Don't know if she's a fan of the show, but Lynn, if you listen, holla back. Thank you. And then I put, Lynn, I'm not sure if you know the Carusos that we do on the Detroit Koolaid Cast, but here's one for you anyway. This one I actually used her name. Well, Lynn, I guess you could say these days the Valeni show's disapproval percentage is approximately 97.1. Come on, Grifka, that's gold.
So wow.
Like I said, man, I've been on a rant. The people are coming through. I mean, if we continue this, we're going to get some incredible Carusos. I think my batting percentage is pretty quality. Don't listen to Grifka's favorite friend, Joey Two Times over there, but love sending them in. I even sent a direct message to my guy Skip on Twitter. Skip's been the king of the Carusos, trying to get at him and putting them on there. I said, where you at on these Carusos? And waiting to hear back. He's been kind of off the map. So Skip, if you're out there, shout out and be on these Carusos. I need some Kansas City Chiefs, Lions Carusos, people. Let's get those going. So Grifko, we had a little fun off the top. Got a couple of those in. Now we got to review this game. Now I got to take you to task on a few things. So what I want to do is kind of work through the game, talk about it. And then I also want to do a little Bizarro Koolaid. What that's going to be is like on certain plays, certain things we talk about, I might call for a timeout. I might call for a little pause in the action and need us to switch roles where you're me and I'm you, so I can tell the people what I thought you were thinking on some of these plays. I'm so glad you don't bombard me with your texts now when there's issues. A lot of my buddies who are Kool-Aid drinkers will write me, hey, come on, we got to have this play. What a great throw by Stafford. All this good stuff pumps me up on a Sunday, other than some of the messages I got from you in the past. So how about we take a break? We'll come back. We'll do the game review for the people, a little Bizarro Kool-Aid so they can hear what I think you're thinking. You can tell them what I'm thinking. We'll have some fun with that and talk about a big W for our Lions, Griff, because I don't know if you've heard. I mean, you might have heard it once or twice somewhere. I don't know. But the Lions, I mean,
I'm undefeated, never lost.
Never lost. Does it sound like a plan? We'll do that after the break.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, we'll be right back. Everybody, we're back. This is everybody's favorite part of the show where we talk about a big Lions Dubski road victory, which is always clutch in the NFL. And it's also everybody's favorite time because this is when I beat up Grifka for loving the victory but probably hating on our Lions for everything they didn't do perfect. Grifka, you ready to get in this game, or talk to me about what you want to say right off the top as this game got started?
Well, no, let's get into this game. I mean, the biggest thing was it was nice to see that the Philadelphia Eagles were missing a couple key components. It's always nice when another team is down, missing a couple big parts of their offense. And I always hate when people are like, "Oh, I want to beat them at their best." No, I don't give a crap. Doesn't say anywhere in the sports page or in the win-loss column was missing X players. So go out there, get the W. I was happy to see that.
So pretty much you just want them to punch them in the face and take their candy regardless?
Yeah, pretty much because that, and I pretty much hate the Eagles anyway, and they're dumb fans, booing everybody, and they show the picture of the guy yelling, and he works at the University of Pennsylvania, which is pretty funny. It's like, oh yeah.
Do you have a little mini Philly fan rant in you, Grifka, that you can do off the top? The people love that.
Of how much I hate Philly? I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy. I don't know, for some odd reason, they just think they always kind of remind me of for lack of a better term, like little brother. It's like, you guys aren't the Cowboys, okay? I know you guys play in the same division, but you guys want to talk big and pump your chest or something like that. But face it, you're like the afterthought of that division. Even the New York Giants are terrible this year, but people would rather watch them than the crappy Eagles. So whatever, man. Philadelphia, just go home, go boo Santa again, try to act like, people they're knowledgeable fans. No, they're not. They're morons is what they are. They boo everything. It doesn't, whatever. It's like they boo walking up. They shake their fist at the clouds and stuff, and whatever. I mean, I guess they could have used Vince Papali on Sunday. Whatever. I mean, that would have been nice if Mark Wahlberg was out there covering kicks for him, because maybe he would have tackled Agnew on the kick return, but who knows? I mean, that team sucks anyways. Forget them. I mean, God, Philly. Oh, we won a Super Bowl. Yeah, you lucked into it. And, it was crap was all rigged because nobody wanted to see New England win it again. That was a joke. But, Philly, we're Philly. Whatever, yeah. Nobody lives in Philadelphia, okay? They all live in, somewhere else, and they'd rather not go to Philadelphia. So, yeah, whatever.
Oh, classic. All right. Like you say, this game was a big road game. Philly's all beat up. We were coming off playing, again, I think Winds are playing well. I think the offenses look pretty good. Everybody else was trying to nitpick our Lions. I felt like, hey, come in and play how they played. They had a good chance of winning this ball game, which I predicted. And right off the top, I mean, the Eagles come out, get the football. They drive right down the field. It looks like it's going to be kind of that first drive type touchdown. Defense stiffens up, and they end up getting a field goal. So, Grifko, we might as well do our first Bizarro Koolaid right here on this first drive. You want to do this?
Yeah, we can do this.
Okay, so I'm going to be Grifka, and this is what I thought Grifka was probably thinking. First drive, come down, Carson Wentz is completing everything. Here we go again. Our defense is a sieve. Can't stop anybody. They're just going to drive right down, score a touchdown. They get real close. Grifka's just thinking, man, our defense is terrible. They can't do anything. This is embarrassing. Probably creaking back and forth in the lazy boy a couple times, and then he's all down on it, just thinking, ugh. And then they hold him to a field goal, and then he's all pumped up. So that's probably what I thought you were doing that first drive.
Do we get to do the comeback of like what we were actually thinking? Because I was thinking like they have no wide receiver. How is he completing this to everybody? What is it? Where's the pass rush? So yeah, you're sort of along the lines. But I know
right. Well, I can't get everything in. I wasn't there, but yeah, those are obviously takes too, where you're going to be like. Yeah. Complaining about pass rush, complaining about, they don't have their good receivers, we're getting shredded. Yeah, of course you're going to say all that garbage.
Yeah. So, well, I guess if that's what it is, I know you were sitting back, and probably going, it's okay. It's a long game. It's fine. We got this, right, man. It's a long game. It's just the first drive. It's right. Okay. It's fine. Somebody will show up. It's okay. We're fine. Flowers will be there. He's coming around, and we got Davis back, so it's fine. Oh, way to hold him, guys. That was a great defensive stand. Great defensive stand. A field goal. Now we get the ball. So was I close?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Plenty of football left to play. No big worries. I mean, Grifka's saying that Trey Flowers is, he's probably like the guys I saw on the press conference. They trade Trey Flowers. He's terrible. I was like, man, is this Grifka online or what is this? Because it's game 3 and the guy's coming off a shoulder. And yeah, he was dang good in this football game. So yeah, I'm thinking all that stuff. And the other reason I want to do Bizarro Koolaid is for the people, just as we do these, to think, what would you rather hear sitting next to somebody at a game or like dealing with them in general? Would you rather hear the Okri where I'm saying, hang in there, it's one drive, we got plenty of football left? Or would you want Grifka, who already broke his coffee table and quit on the team on the first drive because he thought we were going to get a touchdown, but when they held him to a field goal, he's all fired up? I mean, you tell me, people, when this is all said and done. Hit me up on Twitter at Derek Okrie, DEREK OKRIE. This is where you can do a cheap plug if you want, Grifka.
Well, okay. I mean, you're right. I guess what people want to hear, but I guess, real fans that, just saw a team that was supposed to have like no offense and just march down the field and, look at the warts like I do, of course. So they might want to hear that as opposed to like, everything's okay. So yeah, hit me up at Grifka DKC on Twitter if you agree with me, or feel free to, hit up Okrie, to tell him, everything's going great, even though, the defense didn't look that great on that first drive.
Grifka, can you give that Twitter one more time? I didn't quite catch it.
At Grifka DKC.
That's not a good call. No. You don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
Had to drop the hammer on Grifka right off the bat when he's getting his Twitter in twice. People, unless you want to hear why the Lions are so terrible and why they got lucky, that's the only time you want to hit up at Grifka DKC. But let's keep this moving. We'll do a couple more Bizarro Koolaids as we get going. So again, Grifka's all upset. I'm sitting there going, not only am I happy that they held him to a field goal, but hey, it was one drive, no big deal. What did they do? They kicked the football off to Jamal Agnew, who, again, full admission, I told him when he dropped that punt, I think it was a game or so ago, I said, cut him. He's gone. I was done with this guy. Like, his only job, because he can't play cornerback, is to catch the dang ball on punts and field goals. Sure enough, our boy Matt Pat hangs in there with him, and he absolutely comes through for him, catches his ball, turns it upfield, scores an incredible 100. Yeah, you heard me right. 100-yard touchdown for Jamal Agnew. I mean, we usually save this for another player on the Lions, but I think it's appropriate here.
Oh, baby!
This was huge. This was big. Jamal Agnew, for his confidence, for the team, for everybody. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Gosh, I might as well. I got to do Dan Miller if I'm going to say that, right?
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
It's so much better than I just did it. Grifka, we housed it. Man, I think this deserves another Bizarro Koolaid. This is Grifka after the score. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Agnew, that a boy. Yeah. And that's Grifka going nuts when, he was down in the dumps thinking that we were just going to get blown out. But now he's fired up again.
Okay, so, well, I guess if that's the case, what you just said is probably what you just said as yourself. So I guess, yeah, there we go. I know he sucked 2 weeks ago, but now he's awesome. All pro. There he is, showing it right there. I always believed in him. Yeah, that's it, man. I knew Matt Pat was right. I knew Coach Patricia would stick by him. Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, we got this 48-7, 48-3 running around their own house.
Yeah, I wasn't that all those. Gosh, what'd you do? You did some exaggerations there, which I enjoy. That's entertainment for the people. But I was fired up. I mean, when you get a 100-yard touchdown and answer a score, oh yeah, I'm ready to go. I just admitted to you and to the people that yeah, he wouldn't have been on my football team just because I was frustrated with this guy. But hey, tip my cap. Matt Pat made a great decision. I was wrong, and he scores, and that's a big play for our Lions. So I was fired up about it. So sure enough, first quarter continues to go. They put together another drive, the Eagles. And good old Jordan Howard. I mean, this guy's incredible, right? He's just a absolute freak athlete. Not really. He's kind of a slug running back nowadays. He has had some good moments in the NFL, but he starts chewing up our defense. I mean, might as well hit pause here. The Bizarro Koolaid. Look at our defense. We can't stop anybody. It's Jordan Howard. We got him running over Trey Flowers. We got him Swiss cheese on our defense. I mean, this is Jordan Howard. I mean, are you kidding me? We can't stop anyone. I mean, whatever. I mean, please. We're gonna get blown out. This team's terrible. Please. That's my Grifka. Jordan Howard scores a 1-yard touchdown, nice and easy, untouched.
Okay, and then yours would be probably something to the effect like, it's okay, man. Run defense is coming around. Jordan Howard's one of the best backs in the game, man. He's probably top 5 back. It's okay, though. It's okay. We got this. Our run defense will come around. It's okay. Jordan Howard, you're really good. You're really good. It's okay. It's okay. Lions defense will come up. Close enough?
Right, and part of the reason I was thinking that is because I look at the scoreboard, Grifka. It's the first quarter, and it's 10-7. I mean, 10-7's a regular NFL football game. Just because they had a few bad moments, I haven't flipped out on the team. I mean, if it's 27-7, I got issues. When it's 10-7, no big issues. We're hanging in this football game. What do we come back with 14 minutes on the clock in the second quarter? So really, really early in the second quarter, we have another great drive. We bang it down the football field. We get to the 1-yard line. Oh, I got to hit pause. This is sort of where we do a Bizarro Koolaid because what do? We get down to the 1, but what do? We can't smash it in the first couple plays. Here's Grifka. And look at this. We're down at the 1-yard line, and these guys can't score. I mean, really, you can't just run it up the middle with carry on? This is embarrassing. Whatever. I mean, this is a joke, man. I mean, we can't score from 1 yard out. This team's not going to beat anyone. I mean, this is ridiculous. Sure enough, after he's done bitching, the Lions go ahead and carry on, jumps over the pile. I think it was on 3rd down, scores a great touchdown from carry on. Man, we haven't played it in a while, Grifka. Where's my carry on at? We got to find that. Got to give the people a little carry on Johnson sound. Just for the people, up and over the top, carry on Johnson.
Carry on my wayward son. Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Grifka, what do you got to say for yourself? You had to love this, or were you too busy complaining because they didn't score on the first play when they were in tight?
No, I wasn't too busy complaining. I mean, I realized Philadelphia has a good run defense and they're stout up the middle. So I was more I would have been more disappointed if they would have set up from a field goal at that point. But I know when it was when they didn't get on the first couple downs, you were like, it's okay. That's why you're going to go for it on fourth down. Even it's fourth down territory right here. You got to go for it at that thing. Yeah, close. It's fine. And then they scored, and you were probably jumping up and down and had to get the buffalo sauce off your chin from the buffalo wings you're eating. So that's pretty much how I see you on Sunday when that happened.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Like I say, the first and goal, didn't get in. Hey, no worries. Slam. Here's me. Run up the middle again. Pound them. What do? They go up the middle, can't get in. Next play, up over the top. My guy, Kerryon Johnson, who everybody's been asking me, oh, hey, Oakley, what's up with Kerryon? Is he going to be good or is he going to step it up? I mean, really, was this guy supposed to run for 150 and 2 touches every game for you guys to love him? I mean, he's getting positive yards, as Chris Spielman said. He's leaning forward. I expect a breakout game here at some point. And like I say, don't go Grifka. Don't worry about the first couple games, first couple plays. Like, let the season play out. See where he's at the end. If he's at over 1,000 yards and receiving yards and some decent touchdowns, big deal what he had in the first couple games. If he's a lot lower than that, yeah, we probably had injuries or issues. So love what Kerryon's doing. And more than that, I mean, I love the Grifka backpedal. This is the Grifka, like, now everything's just peaches and cream. He was just hanging in there. He was just sitting there, oh, hey, the Eagles got a good D. No worries. I mean, I'm glad they got in. Come on, people. He's freaking out, thinking that the game was over because we couldn't score when we were on the 1. I mean, don't let him fool you.
Well, I didn't think the game was over because they couldn't score from the 1, but, I mean, it's...
What do you mean? It's 10-7. 10-7 is when you quit on the Lions when we were together at the Chargers game. You would absolutely quit. Well, what's the difference?
Quit on them. I mean, they just were struggling. So, and their defense was struggling considering Philadelphia, didn't have all their offensive weapons. They just marched down in the first 2 possessions and scored. And so, yeah, they were struggling. So, yeah, it was a little worried.
Struggling.
There you go.
Lions go ahead and let me see. They go into the locker room in this game. Matt Prater puts in 2 field goals. Nice to see him get back on track. Halftime, 20-10 Lions. I mean, you pretty much know how I'm thinking. Excuse me, what I'm thinking right here, and you know what you're thinking as well, because our team's up 10 on the road going into halftime. You absolutely gotta love it.
Yeah, it was like you said. I had predicted a loss, and I thought it would be a close loss, but still a loss. So they were up by 10, at halftime. I thought the team was playing pretty well. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't do a Bizarro because that second field goal they settled for. I thought they settled for the field goal and took the points there, where they got from 17 to 20 points. I was like, gosh, because it was 3rd and 8, and they threw a 5-yard pass, and the DB was tight coverage on Jones, so he would have had to make some miraculous play to get the first down on that. So at that point, I pretty much knew they were just taking the 3 points to go up by 10. So that was like, I wasn't the happiest over that, but being up by 10.5, I was pretty happy with the way the game was going at the time.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be? I mean, we're playing great. I mean, if I got to do Bizarro Koolaid, it's Grifka going, all right, like we get the ball at the second half, we got to go down and score a touchdown. We can't let them back in the game. I mean, we can't. We've seen this before. I mean, we let the Cardinals come back on us. I mean, we kept the Chargers in the game. You're probably figuring out all the ways this could go wrong. Where I'm sitting there, I mean, again, you can do an Oakley Bizarro, and I'll tell you what I was thinking, but you probably know.
Right, but yeah, you're pretty much right on what I was thinking. Hey, stay calm, keep the pedal to the metal. We let it, and it happened against the Cardinals. So I know you're probably thinking, we got this. Team's playing really well. Defense is stout, holding them. Stafford's looking pretty decent out there. Just we need the offensive line to come around so we can run the ball a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had some friends writing me. I mean, everybody's high in the sky. I definitely was feeling great about how they were playing. I mean, the big thing I have here on my note sheet is turnovers, man. Big time turnovers. Usually whenever we do that, we win football games. So I don't know, your favorite player in the world, Jared Davis. He comes out, knocks the football out. And then you get later in the football game, another ball on the ground, big play, picking it up. So anytime they can get turnovers and play decent football offensively, I feel like we got a good chance to win the game. So, like I say, coming out of the locker room, even my friends are writing me. I was kind of like, just hang in there. Let's finish this game. I'm not thinking like what could happen or how could the sky fall, but I'm thinking, yeah, just come out and play that same half, and you'll win this by 14 points or more. And sure enough, the Lions get the ball. They don't do too much. Third quarter is kind of bland until late in the third quarter with 4 minutes left. Eagles put together a good drive. Nelson Aguilar scores a 20-yard touchdown. And, yep, unfortunately, this is where I have to do the Bizarro Koolaid. This is a ball thrown out to the outside, and this is Grifka going, make a tackle. I mean, gosh, like, what is this? We can't tackle anybody. I mean, we're never going to win playing like this. That's my best Grifka, because this guy waltzed through our defense, scores a touchdown. Now it's 2017. Grifka's blood pressure's up. He's had too much salt. This is not looking good for him. I'm sitting there going, 2017, like still in the lead, and we're getting the football back. Let's go.
Really? You were okay with that they gave up the score?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously want him to get him on the ground, but I'm the guy that every week on the show preaches NFL football. Like, the other team's going to make plays. You're going to screw up and miss some plays. So the Lions had not, looked bad defensively. And this was one of those plays where he caught it, a couple missed tackles, and he rumbles into the end zone. I mean, it's going to happen. Now, if it happens multiple times in crucial situations, I'm going to come on here and rant and rave about it. But when I felt like this was the first, Swiss cheese defense play I had seen, unfortunately, it created a touchdown for them. I'm not going to freak out, especially with the confidence I have that our Oak can go back and do some things. So that's where my head was at.
Okay. See, I mean, if I would have had to do a Bizarro with Derek on that, I'd be like, okay, defense gave up some plays there, but gosh, I thought you'd be a little more worried at that point, simply because, like you said, it was a little ho-hum there in the third quarter. They didn't look really good coming out with the ball at the start of the third, and I think they had one other drive in there too, where it was pretty short. They really didn't do anything with it. So it seemed like Philadelphia made a few adjustments there. And I guess my thought is like, you may have been a little more worried. So, but that's just how I took it. You're right. I was very worried at that point. My salt was
up. So like I said, 2017, Lions Nation that acts and feels like Grifka is freaking out. Again, heading into the fourth quarter, Lions put together another drive right off the bat. I don't have it in front of me if this was the next drive, but I'm pretty sure, it either was the next drive or the drive after. They come down, first drive basically of the fourth quarter, come down. Absolute beautiful throw by Matt Stafford to Marvin Jones for a 12-yard touchdown. My favorite part of the play is Kerryon Johnson. Got to give him the soundbite on this one. Carry on my wayward son. You go back and watch this, man. 33 stepped up, made a great block, and a guy coming off the edge gave Stafford a little extra time. And Matt Stafford, my favorite part about the play too, not only did he put loft on the ball, he threw it to a good spot. He's been known to overthrow it, underthrow it, whatever it may be. He picked a great spot to throw the football. He put air under it, and a heck of a catch by Marvin Jones. I mean, I feel like everybody's sleeping on this guy that, yeah, he had great numbers in this game, 6 catches for 101 and a touch. But this guy's making diving catches, first down plays, clutch plays on fourth down against the Chargers. And then he goes up over the shoulder, sliding backwards, and makes it look easy. I mean, I thought it was incredible. I love this play.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the way Marvin Jones actually has kind of been playing all year, making some tough catches out there. And but yeah, the game he had on Sunday, I was really happy, and that was a big point in the game. Like that catch you just mentioned, that was just I don't want to say a turning point, but it was definitely one of the key plays needed for the Lions in the game Sunday.
Oh my gosh. Grifka calls it a key play, everybody. Puts us up 27-17. Incredible catch start the fourth quarter. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty key play, Grifka. I'd say this was the play of the game, no question about it. Lions play some solid defense, goes back and forth. Next thing you know, Nelson Aguilar again catches a 2-yard touchdown. I'm not sure where it was in the ball game, but I know there was a huge drop by Dallas Goedert, just a walk-in touchdown that went off his Eric Ebron-like hands and drops it. I mean, again,
That was the
Goddard's the
same
guy.
drive. Same
Yeah,
drive.
Goddard.
Like, I think a couple plays right. Well, it was a couple plays before, but then the Lions got some penalty that gave them like another first down. So they had a fresh set of downs, is what they had. There was a couple personal fouls or a couple penalties right there on the Lions that maintained the drive, and they got a couple penalized first downs. So it was actually on that same drive a few plays right before that.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert's the guy I've been pumping up, in fantasy. If Ertz was ever to go down, I think this guy's incredible. He's kind of like a Travis Kelce type body build and player. He's just still kind of in a bad situation where he's not out there a ton, and he had some injuries. But, man, I was just super surprised he dropped this football. I couldn't have been happier, except that it did hurt me in a couple of my really deep fantasy leagues, but I wasn't worried about that. I was super excited that it went off his frying pan hands in this situation. And, yeah, like you said, the other thing we got to talk about before we get to the end of this game is, oh my goodness, were there some referee calls that, like, again, this probably deserves a Bizarro Koolaid. Like, I mean, some of these like push-offs that they called, and I mean, the Bizarro Koolaid is me being Grifka. Oh man, they're gonna call that on the defense. They never give us plays. They never give us calls. I mean, we're not the Giants, Dallas, Green Bay. I mean, any of these teams they love. I mean, we're not gonna get that call. Watch them come back and call that on us. Bunch of garbage, bunch of bullcrap, and then they come back and give us a couple incredible calls. The one on Darren Sproles was off the charts, and then earlier in the football game too, they called kind of a ticky-tack offensive push that I loved. It got me all pumped up. What'd you think about these penalties, Griff? Am I on point that you were just freaking out thinking here these are going to go against the Lions again, like they always do, in your opinion?
Of course. I mean, I mean, you know me, I'm thinking to myself, there it is. There's the penalty to keep the drive alive. There it is. I mean, it's so blatant offensive pass interference. So yeah, you were right on this. And I don't know.
Right,
I mean, I don't know if you thought to yourself, well, it's got to be offensive pass interference. We got this. No problem. We got this. I mean, considering, you got to be like, we're getting calls all day. Look at the face mask. They didn't call on Miles Killebrew, and he almost ripped the guy's head off.
Oh, yeah, that was incredible, too. I mean, I'm, like you say, I'm a guy that if it's really egregious, or like I said, I think I wrote a couple of my buddies and said, man, the refs are ruining NFL football with just these. I mean, really, you're going to call holding on every play? Yeah, we get it. There's holding on every play. You're going to call a penalty, as we said at the Charger game, on every kick, every punt, everything. Like, it makes it unwatchable at points. Like, nobody signed up to watch the referees. But yeah, I mean, again, a lot of those I'm kind of hanging in there, and then when they say it's on them, and even if it's questionable, like say I'm like you said with the, hey, we won and you were injured, I don't care. Like if it's a terrible call but it goes against you, oh, I'm happy. What a great call by the refs. I'm fired up. So definitely on all those, I was super pumped because they helped our Lions.
Yeah, anytime the Lions can get a call from the referees, I'm all for it because it just doesn't seem to happen very much. Because you're right, we're not the Packers or the Cowboys or the Steelers or the Giants or the Patriots. So.
Grifka, here's the one we got to get into, and this is the one where I literally looked at my phone and said, oh, good, I don't have a message because you know that we've had our battles and basically muted you a couple times, and I was like, if he wrote me, I'm going to freaking smash my phone right now. So the Lions are up, 27-24. We're heading down the field. We kind of stall out. We're about to kick. I think it was around probably about a 40-some yard field goal, whatever it was. Matt Prater, he's been money all day after he missed a few against the Chargers. And what happens? The kick is blocked. Not only is it blocked, they start to run it back, and it looks like an absolute house call. I mean, all I heard in my head was you going, see, we freaking lost the game. These guys can't block anyone. This always happens to the Lions. I can't believe it. And he's rumbling down the field. It looks like he's down at the 20, so it's a guaranteed field goal, if not a touchdown. Plenty of time on the clock, probably about a minute 50, something like that on the clock. And what happens? They call kind of a bougie block in the back, brings this thing all the way back to the 50. Again, another Bizarro Koolaid. Grifka thinking, oh, well, like, I'm glad it's back at the 50, but I mean, plenty of time. Carson Wentz been carving us up, like, down 3. They'll probably go in and score a touchdown and we'll lose the game. But that's not what happened.
Honestly, that's exactly what I was thinking. But that wasn't a bougie block in the back. I mean, that was that was a block in the back. I mean, that was that was like what everybody says. If you see his numbers, don't hit him. And Malcolm Jenkins, who blocked the ball, is the one who threw the block in the back. So yeah, I mean that wasn't a cheapie. That was a full, that was a full block in the back right there. So
right, but I call it a cheapie because he wasn't going to make the play. The guy he blocked wasn't going to like make this tackle. He was like out of the play by a few yards, and to the definition of he hit him in the back. But I don't like those calls that are made when they're 5-10 yards away from the football. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe it was a penalty, but the guy wasn't going to get him down anyway, so let it go. That's what holds up the NFL right now. It's like, well, I know that holding was on the left side of the line and the ball was all the way on the right side outside to a receiver, but I got to call it. It's like, if it impacts the play, call it. If not, keep your
I don't know if the guy wouldn't have made the play. I mean, he was going towards the sideline, and he broke back behind him when Malcolm Jenkins was standing there, and he like kind of pushed him back. Now, if Malcolm Jenkins isn't there, you're right. Maybe it's like an arm flail or something like that. But to say like he wouldn't have made the play, he wasn't, nowhere near it. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins there, he pushed the guy out of the way and didn't give the guy even a chance to come back when the guy returning the ball broke back. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a cheapie call by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I still got to find some time to watch. I want to watch this game back, and I'll keep my eye on that. But first look, I thought it was kind of one of those, I'm glad we got it again, but I didn't think it was, exactly as called. But Grifka, how many years are we going to have to do this show before you get out of this mindset where, like, there's nothing in this football game that says they're going to go right down and score, especially once you see the ball at the 50. Like, you got to break this mold where you just think that all this stuff is going to happen because it happened in the past. I mean, it's a whole new team, a whole new year. Like, there's no reason to say same old Lions. There's no reason to say, here we go again. What? Because they blocked a kick? Like, you've never seen that again in an NFL game? Like, okay, it came at a bad time. Happens. If it happened in the first quarter, you wouldn't have been freaked out, but everybody freaks out now. See, the Lions fourth quarter, we would get a kick blocked. Well, sometimes you get a kick blocked. Like, that's my mentality, is I don't freak out because I don't put all this extra stuff on things that are like, oh, see, I knew that would happen to the Lions. It's like, that happens in NFL football, and it just happened at a bad time, and they're at the 50, and all we got to do is stop them, which is all I kept yelling. Just get a stop. Just make a play. And what did they do? They came out and made a couple great plays to get off the field and to take a kneel down. So talk me through it if you want, but my mentality is always, you still got plenty of opportunities right here to still win this game. Don't cry in your cereal. There's no reason to.
After that happened and they're back at the 50, and like you said, you're like, just make a play. At that point, always in my mind, I'm always like, okay, 4 more plays. Because it's 4-down territory. They're always going to go for it, obviously. So whenever a play passes, I try to sit, I try to remain as calm as possible so I don't have a stroke. But I'm always like, after first, I'm like, okay, 3 more plays. That's how I react to that stuff. I'm like, get a pass rush, make them uncomfortable. And that's what I always do at that point. When it's like that, when I know it's going to be 4 downs, I'm like, okay, 3 more plays, 2 more plays. Okay, defense, you only got to come up with 1 more play. Make the stop here. That's actually me at that point. I mean, that's the way I react to stuff like that when I know it's the last part of the game and the other team needs to go. So, and the Lions just need to make 4 stops. Okay, all you need is 4 stops. All you need is 4 stops. And then, obviously, if they get a first down, it's like, okay, come on, 4 plays. That's what you got, 4 plays. And then if it gets into, like, they need a field goal, I'm like, come on, okay, like, hold enough field goal. Okay, this range, getting pushed back, you want it as far as possible. That's actually the way I am at that point in the game.
Okay, but like I say, this is my beef, and this is going to be my question till the end of time. Like, what is going to get you to think, instead of, here we go again, oh, see, we're going to lose, we're down 3, to start thinking, we've played great, we just had a terrible circumstance at a bad time, but they're at, whatever yard line it'd be. Like, go make a play. Your whole thing about, well, there's 4 downs, now there's 3, now just need a field goal. Like, that's just basic. Like, you're just hoping that, the basic or the good thing will happen at that point, rather than having a positive mindset saying, like, hey, last week against the Chargers, This team didn't fold. They went out and won the football game at the end by making plays, a pick by Slay, and a 3rd and 6. Why are they going to clunk it up now? Oh, because the Lions, 20 years ago did. And then because I've seen it a million times. Have you seen it from this team? Because 2 out of the 3 weeks, I've seen incredible grit, fight, everything. So, again, my question, what's going to get you over the hump to actually, think positive and say, no, we're going to still win this game? Screw that.
Don't tie a crappy Arizona team and give up an 18-point lead in the 4th quarter. So I mean,
did you miss the game after that, or does that not count? Because they did the exact opposite the next week.
Have you seen it this year? Yeah, we saw it the very first game. It wasn't a loss, but they tied a crappy Arizona team. Okay, so
right.
Yes.
But my point is,
what's going to make me change that? They go out and they kick the crap out of some teams in the game. Halfway in the 4th quarter, it's out. It's done. But like you said, they're going to have to put a few of those together before I do that, but considering they just blew an 18-point lead to Arizona. Did I see the next game? Yeah, I did see the next game. And did I see the Philadelphia game? Yeah, I did see the Philadelphia game. But
okay,
like I said,
so in 2019,
yeah, I saw it this year. I saw it the very first game.
Okay, so let's get this on record. So in 2019, we're not taking your 30 years of fandom and all this other stuff we argued about a million times on the show. We're taking 2019 season Detroit Lions. You've seen what you deem to be a terrible collapse in week 1 and just a
lot of people deem that.
Okay, because you missed the first 3 quarters. Yeah, I get it. You only remember the end of the game. But then you saw a good win against the Chargers where they fought their butt off.
That makes no sense. Makes 0 sense. They play 4 quarters. It's a 4-quarter game is what you said. So they were great for 3 quarters, but the 4th quarter of the Arizona game, they stunk it up. Okay, they play 4 quarters. I mean, you can't go back on your own sayings now.
Grifka, this is how my brain works. If you play great for 80 to 90% of the game and you clunk up 10 and you tie or loss or whatever, I still chalk that up. I don't chalk it up as a terrible game because I remember the other 90%. You and other Lions fans only remember that 10% that sucked. So eventually I'm going to get you the point, which I was trying to explain before you went Grifka on me. Okay, they played 80 to 90% good and 10% bad and tied the game week 1. Then they put together, what would you say against the Chargers? I'd say at least 2 to 3 good quarters there and won the game when it counted. So there's another, 2.5 to maybe 2/3 of pretty good football. Stacking that on each other. Did they come out and beat the hell out of the Philadelphia Eagles for basically a half to 3 quarters if you want to say that? Yeah. But all you're looking at are these other little slivers we almost lost it here at the end. Oh, it was a little tight versus the Chargers. Oh, we played bad for 8 minutes against the Cardinals. Yeah, at the end of the day, your record is what matters, but I'm not going to discount all these good things I'm seeing from the football team, which is good offense, moving the ball. Yeah, okay, we haven't run it incredible, but we've made plays in the most crucial situations. We've shown amazing grit. We've won games that we need to win. So for 2019, you have about 2/3 good and a 1/3 bad, if you want to chalk it up. So that's been my beef and my Bizarro Kool-Aid with you today, is I wanted the people to see that you can either look at the 2/3 good and the 2 wins and the good football we played, or you can focus on that 8 minutes against Arizona and say, see, that's why they're not a good team because of that, and that's why I got the issue.
I mean, you can have that issue, but like you said, me and a lot of other Lions fans are going to remember a team. They weren't. If that tie was to happen against the Kansas City Chiefs, I'd be like, okay, fine, Kansas City, they're good, they're a damn good football team, and we just tied Kansas City. But no, it happened against the Arizona Cardinals, and Arizona's not that good. So yeah, that's going to stick in your craw for a little bit. It is. That's with most Lions fans. Just because you remember, this is the sunshine and rainbows, they blew an 18-point lead in the 4th quarter to a bad football team. Okay?
Does it ever
feel free to remember the first 3 quarters.
Does it ever compute in your head that was game 1? That now we're here at game 3. You're starting to get a better view of this team. And to me, they're a pretty gritty, good football team in a lot of different little areas that they haven't been in the past. And I do consider to focus on that rather than, oh, look, they lost to Arizona. Oh, hey, hello, it's week 1. They're still getting everything together. They didn't have some of their main defensive players. Now we got people coming back. I don't know. We're gonna have this fight to the end of time, but so basically, like, unless the Lions put together some beatdowns and a bunch of good games in a row, you're just, you're not gonna believe, or gonna kind of be on the dark cloud side.
Well, no, you're right. Go beat down the teams that we're predicting them to go beat down. I mean, I'm watching stuff this weekend because Daniel Jones had a great game against a crappy Buccaneers team. All of a sudden, the Giants are like very capable of beating the Lions. No, go beat down the Giants. That is a crappy football team. Go put the fear of God in them and just beat the junk out of them. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Go beat down those teams. Don't play the New York Giants close. Okay? Don't do that. Go beat – you yell at me. You made fun of me for predicting a Raiders loss. The Raiders aren't a very good football team either. They got better talent than last year, but their depth isn't that great this year. So, yeah, you want to go out to Oakland and beat them down. Okay? Beat down those teams that you're supposed to be so much better than. Yeah, show me that. Don't barely skate by. Okay? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You do know it's the NFL, too, where basically every game is within a touchdown, 10 points.
There's like 2 really good teams, and everybody else in the same bucket. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I've heard that a whole bunch of times. I know that's what the Patriots think. Well, we're about as good as, the Jets. So if we skate by, it's okay. And we're about as good as, the Dolphins. So if we skate by, it's okay. No. You know what the Patriots thinking? We're going to go out there and beat the living crap out of them. We're better than them. We're going to go beat the daylights out of them, and they freaking do it. So to sit back, well, all the teams are, like, really, really close.
How many times do you say the Patriots have an absolute blowout, like 40-10 or 40-14? How often does that happen, Grifka?
Last week against the New York Jets. There.
But in a season, maybe like a couple times for a really good team might totally crush somebody.
I mean, like that year where they were undefeated, then got upset by the Giants in the Super Bowl, where they were just dog whipping everybody. Yeah, you're right. That doesn't happen very often at all.
Yeah, is that the example you picked out? It's really the only time it's ever happened in NFL history where a team almost went undefeated and had the best, offensive production of all time.
There's a lot of teams that are really good. I know you've been watching football for like 15 years, but there's a lot of times teams go out there that are really good and they know it, and they just kick the living dog crap out of the other team. Okay. They know it. They're just that much better than them. But your world where everybody's like in the same bucket, because so if even if you win at home at 1 or lose on the road at 1, well, every team's like really close, so like nobody really beats up on anybody else.
Right.
So whatever.
That's the current day NFL. Everything is basically a coin flip, and every once in a while you'll get either a beat down or get beat down, but it's not the end of the world. So, like I said, I don't think we'll ever come. You'll just always have this in your head that because of the past, because of this, and I'm just trying to coach you out of it and say there was no reason to think we were going to lose to Philadelphia the way we had played. But I know everybody out there was thinking, here we go. And it's like, here we go what? We've been playing great. Now all we got to do is finish. They went out and finished. Let's be excited about it, which I am. The Lions are 2-0-1, which is equivalent to this.
I'm undefeated, never lost.
They're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, which I cannot wait to talk about on Friday with you. And then after that, they get a bye week, and then me and you will be in Green Bay. Who knows what our record will be? We might be on cloud 9 out there, just ready to rock and roll in Lambeau. I mean, can you get behind that or what?
Yeah, I'm behind that. I'm stoked for it.
All right,
I gave you my word, and it took you forever to find the button. Find the bell.
Grifgood, there's only one other thing to ask while we shut this show down. I mean, we've been back and forth. We've done some Carusos. We had a bunch of fun. You've plugged your Twitter a few times. Like, do you have anything else for the people?
No.
All right. Well, good show. Looking forward to Friday. Everybody's really pumped up about this KC game, so we'll talk about all that, and we'll do that all right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. We're out.
Pack the bags, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions.
Drink it in.